What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I'm a full-time used book reseller. My primary focus is selling used books on Amazon through Amazon FBA, and I have been selling a little bit here and there on eBay more and more because I've been having an influx of bulk book buys. So today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why I think now is the best time to get started as a new Amazon used book seller. So let's get right on into it. So this is my opinion on why I think it's a great time to start as a new Amazon used book seller today or within the next month or two until you get things sorted out and you really want to dive into it on your own. So there's been a few recent things that have changed within Amazon book selling community. If you have been around it at all, you'll know that restock limits have gone down. So that just means you can send less in. So a lot of the bigger book sellers, for example, my limit's only 1,000 books allowed in Amazon inventory at any given time. Now, other bigger book sellers, other bigger book YouTubers, you know, everybody watches everybody's videos basically. They have lost their inventory levels by thousands. So as a small guy, as a one-person operation, 1,000 is plenty for me. I mean, I'll be amazed if I can get in 1,000 profitable books at one time with the triggers I have. And if I do, I'll be making a crap ton of money. But a lot of the bigger book sellers took a big hit, and Amazon really didn't give any explanation why. And they just said, hey, you know, you got to get X amount of books out of our inventory, and here's your new limit. So the limits keep going down on these bigger book sellers, which it sucks for them because a lot of these guys, you know, this is what they do full time. They have warehouses, they have employees, you know, and they're making 6+ figures every year. So these guys are taking it a lot harder than the little person, which sucks for them. But in the other eye, it's good for people like you and like me that are just small and have a one-man operation, because that means there's less books in inventory, which means there's less competition, which usually means there's better prices. So it's only been about a few months since this started to go into place. Now, I haven't really seen like that much of a difference in prices, or I'm not finding like a lot more books since there's a lot less inventory in Amazon. But I think now that I feel like they're going to keep crunching these numbers down on these big time sellers, because unfortunately they just don't want to be in the book business like they used to be, I guess. I mean, I see it all the time. There's a lot of people that are out there sending books into Amazon and they're selling them at a loss, and they're selling them for nothing. So Amazon doesn't want to store your books. Amazon wants stuff that's going to sell. They don't want stuff that's going to sit there and just take up warehouse space. So I think Amazon might keep crunching down on these bigger book sellers. But honestly, if you're new and you're starting, I think this is probably one of the better times to get into it. You might hear, oh, Amazon's just trying to get completely away from books. I would not go that far. They're always going to be selling things that make them money, and books still make them a crap ton of money, especially textbooks. So I think you, as a one-person working machine like I do, I go to thrift stores on my own. I use the cherry picking method. That's what they call it. I just only take books that are going to be profitable. So I'm not in the bulk business where, you know, you gotta send in books that you probably wouldn't send in if you were by yourself, because you already paid for the book, so you want to get as much money back out of them as you can. So you, as one person, I think this is the perfect opportunity to get started, because there's less competition. And I feel like a lot of the bigger book sellers who are getting the screws tightened on their inventory limits are going to look to other platforms, well, not platforms, other methods to make more money. So like online arbitrage and stuff like that. So they're going to start shifting some out of books and into other different areas so they can keep their income where they want it to be. Now, you as a little guy, that makes perfect sense for you to get started. Less competition. The bigger book guys are always buying in bulk, so they're always willing to, you know, price basically at break even, because they already paid for the book, so they just got to make something off it. And you as a little guy with your Scout IQ setup, you're going to be getting more profitable books, and the books you're sending in are going to be turning over quicker. So you don't want to get started and buy all these long hold books. You want to make sure you got your trigger set up correct so that the books you're sending in are moving. You don't want to get to a point where you have 500 books in stock and you're not even selling a book a day, you know, like that's just not going to work. It's not going to work on Amazon, and it ain't going to work for you because you ain't going to make no money. So I think I think now's the best time to get started as a one person or even a two person. I bring my wife out every once in a while to help me scan. Operation, cherry picking operation. I would definitely not get into bulk books probably ever again with Amazon, just because of the restriction limits and everything. Now, if you do something like I do and you get Craigslist, that's not bulk books. That's just, you know, that's minor league compared to bulk book buys. So it's definitely a good time, and I think you guys should really, if you're thinking about starting, don't be discouraged about what you hear about all these big sellers getting their restrictions turned down and Amazon's gonna do away with books, and I don't foresee that ever happening. And us as little guys, we can make a lot of money. And even though we're a little guy, trust me, you can, if you get anywhere near 1,000 books by yourself, you're gonna be making good money, probably more money than you're making at your job. So it's all right to be the little guy sometimes. I have no problem with being a little guy. I enjoy watching big operations and warehouses. I don't see that like as a future for me. I don't want it to consume everything, you know. I enjoy going out hunting for books and the thrill of scanning them and seeing how much money I can make on a single book or a single store. So I think, you know, if you're really on the fence about starting it and you really wanna, don't be discouraged about everything you hear out there. If your limit's 500 to start out, then it jumps up to 1,000, you will make easily enough money to cover all your bills and everything. So that's my 2 cents on why you should get started today. I mean, books are everywhere. Every store you go to, there's books. You can usually get them for dirt cheap. So I mean, this is the time to invest in yourself, bet on yourself. Don't work one of these crappy jobs where you're unhappy, you know. Selling books is easy. I mean, I worked in retail for 20 years basically, and it sucked. And now that I scan books and sell them and send them in, I'm like, this is the easiest job you could ever ask for. All you do is scan them, box them, send them in. That's it. I mean, it don't get no easier than this to make money. It's silly. I'm still mind blown to this day that people are like, what do you mean you make money selling books? That sounds like a lot of work. Some days, yeah, when I have bulk buys and my whole car is filled up, yeah, it's a lot of work. But most days, it's easy. And I live on the 3rd floor apartment, so listen, all these books I'm finding in all these damn videos, I'm carrying up 3 flights of steps, filling up the box, carrying the crap back down the steps to my car. Keeps me feeling young and fit and in shape. So if you guys are really on the fence about starting your Amazon FBA book business, my recommendation is go for it. And if you ever have any questions on anything about the process, anything about the triggers, or if you're looking for any tips or suggestions that I can give you, just ask me. I'm always around. I always respond to every YouTube comment I get. So don't pay for any courses. You don't need no, paying for courses is a thing of the past. There's so much free information out there. You don't need to pay for a single course to get started, you know. Use me. I can be your free course. I can answer any questions you got. Unless it comes to bulk books and things like that, that's out of my league. I'm not into that, and I don't plan on getting into that. But I appreciate you guys listening to my opinion on why you should get started today. Start today. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna start next month or next week or next year. Start today. And once you go out and you scan them books and you start hearing that green, seeing that green, hearing that green sound, you're gonna be addicted real quick. And then that money's gonna flow in, and you're gonna be like, yeah, this is the life for me. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more used book thrifting videos. Bye-bye.